off the Lifestyle Hour. Phoenix Best is currently playing Eponine in Les Mis at PPAC. I always try to get the French pronunciation correct. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
How has it been being in Les Mis, and how's it been being in Providence?
It's been so great being in Les Mis. It's been a dream show to be in. Eponine is a dream role of mine, and so getting to play it every night is the most amazing thing. And Providence is so beautiful. This town is so cute. Like, I found so many cute little shops and places to go in between shows and before. It's been great.
So I always wonder, because I always, I was always in awe of actors and actresses, and you're on the road. I mean, what's your typical day like when you're playing a role and you have to be, there for a certain amount of hours before the show? What's your typical day like?
Well, we just recently stopped rehearsals, so a typical day would usually be wake up, go to the gym, get some breakfast, and then go to rehearsal and tech through some of the things in the show that we're still working on, and then have a nice dinner break, and then come back, do the show. But I like to do a warm-up. I steam sometimes before the show. I like to have my chai tea latte as well, and that's how I get the show going. That's usually my day.
So I have to tell you, when folks heard that you were coming in, they're like, is she going to sing? But you are prepared for the show tonight. If you want to hear her sing, you have to go to the show.
3 more shows left, so come see it.
There's 3 more shows after this. I mean, I just have to say, your resume, having been on Broadway, what's next? You're a young actress, you're doing Broadway, you're doing Les Mis. What do you anticipate taking place?
Yeah, I would really like to go into the TV film world. I'd like to do some TV shows and some movies and things like that. I admire TV film actors and actresses, and so that is the next step that I would like to pursue, as well as continuing to do theater as well.
And what got you here? I've read your bio, but tell us about your path. Practically here to Providence as we stand, as we speak.
Yeah, I graduated college and I went straight into The Color Purple on Broadway right when I moved to New York. I was there for about 14 months. And then I had a little break, and then I did Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway, and I did many auditions for the show and found out I got this, and now here I am in Providence working at the PPAC.
So what else for Les Mis? What's literally next after the final show this week?
Next is getting on a bus and heading to Hartford, Connecticut for our next shows.
For the next set of shows. And how many folks are involved with the production? If someone goes and sees Les Mis, do they have any sense of how many people are involved?
No, there's so many crew members and stage managers and company management workers backstage as well. So you see the show on stage, you see the 30 to 40 people on stage, and then there's also like 40 more people backstage working as well. So there's a huge community of people working together to put this show together.
Working to make it happen.
Yeah.
So again, being on Broadway for 14 months, what was it like being on Broadway? So here you're on the tour, you're with everyone, you're kind of exploring new places, getting to see Providence. But what was it like being on Broadway?
It was exciting and a little bit scary. I was 21, I had just graduated college, and I, on a whim, decided to move to New York 10 days after I finished school, and I was like, I'm going to go to New York, and got an audition, and somehow got on Broadway right away, and that was really exciting. Like, that's the thing that so many people dream of doing, and I was like, I get to do this every day for 14 months, and I was a swing, so I got to cover 5 women in the ensemble, so it was exciting in that way too, because I never knew when I was going to go on.
Being a swing, as you said, covering 5. I mean, how much memorization and rehearsing?
It's a lot of memorization, a lot of practice. It's like a whole different use of your brain, like knowing where each person is at different moments. Sometimes you get on stage and you look at your costume and you're like, okay, I'm this person today, But
getting into the role.
Yeah.
How many costume changes does Eponine have?
I have, oh my goodness, I want to say, just as Eponine, I have 4 costume changes.
Do you think that people have that sense, again,
3.
talking behind behind the scenes? When you go off, what's it like? Is there someone waiting there? Do they have how quick is that quick change?
Yeah, it just depends on what change it is. Sometimes I go back to my dressing room and I have some time to, get everything on, and sometimes I'm rushing to the elevator to quickly change into, the next costume to run back on stage, and you guys don't see all of that, but it's very quick.
How physically demanding? You talk about waking up and going to the gym.
Yeah.
You have to be in good shape. It's like stamina.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and especially on the barricade, climbing through the back of the barricade and on top of the barricade, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot with all the costumes that we have as well. It's different from doing it in rehearsal when you're in yoga pants and a t-shirt to when you're in proper costumes and corsets. So
now, why do you think, we were talking earlier and here in Go Local about, Broadway plays that just stand the test of time. And Les Mis just is one of those.
Definitely.
Why is it that just enduring show, do you think?
It's the story. The storytelling in this show has been so amazing to do because I feel like it resonates with so many people throughout the test of time, as well as the music. It's beautiful to hear. It's so poetic, and I feel like people get as invested as we do in the show.
I know, I told folks, I'm like, if you want to hear Phoenix sing and you want to hear Eponine, you would have to go to the show. I said, I could sing, you don't want to hear me sing. So other Broadway shows, you're talking, TV, talking film, but other Broadway shows, if Broadway and being in theater were going to still be part of that path, what would be sort of dream shows of yours too?
My next dream is honestly to originate a new show.
Oh.
I feel like that would be so cool, like to start off as this character that no one has ever seen before and get to develop that. I think that is so cool.
Well, I like being here in September 2017 talking with Phoenix, and whether it's 6 months or 12 months, we're going to say, when we see you in that show, we're going to play that piece and be like, remember when Phoenix was here and we asked her about originating a role? Well, here we were talking about it. So only a few more days. I mean, again, getting out and about during the weeks. Do you get enough sleep?
Yeah, I do. I make sure I get enough sleep because if you're not well rested, then you aren't able to give a full performance. And I like to try and give 100% in every performance that I do.
Because I just figured that you must be, constantly on the run, constantly rehearsing. As you said, rehearsals just ended. So how many more after Hartford? What do you have beyond that? Do you know?
We have rehearsal-wise?
Show-wise.
Show-wise. Oh, we have so many more performances. And if you want to check it out, go to the Les Mis website and find out our next cities.
And I do know that there are great seats still available here in Providence at PPAC, of course, one of the best. How pretty is PPAC?
It's so beautiful.
We're a little biased.
It's so beautiful. It's one of the biggest theaters I've worked in, so looking out there every night and seeing all the faces is so great.
It's they renovated it in recent years, and it's just one of those crown jewels here in Providence that we're so proud of. And PPAC's been great bringing us. I mean, you're literally 2 blocks just from us. And we're talking. They're like, "How can we just get her back and forth?" I'm like, "Absolutely, let her to hop in the studio." I mean, it's not every day we get a good Broadway actress in the studio. So exciting! Again, I so appreciate you taking the time to come in here.
It's been great.
Talk about the role. Hopefully, as I said, we'll play that video clip that I see Phoenix Best in a new show and say, "I knew her when." So, Phoenix Best, Eponine at PPAC Les Mis. Again, 3 more shows tonight, Friday, and Saturday. You can catch her and the whole cast. It's gotten rave reviews. Thank you for taking the time to come in. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll let you go around the corner. We'll let you get back up to PPAC, and I'll welcome my next guest in. Okay? Thank you, Phoenix.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Phoenix Best playing Eponine in Les Mis at PPAC. There are 3 more shows. As I said, rave reviews so far. We're going to take a quick break here because we need to set up for our next guest, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Great kickoff guest here in the studio, Phoenix Best playing Eponine at Les Mis up at PPAC. They came a couple blocks down to hop into the studio here. She told us she loves being in Providence right now. They have a couple more shows before they go to Hartford, Connecticut, and as she said, plenty more cities on the list, so check out Les Mis. Check out Phoenix. I kind of wanted her to sing in the studio, but she had to save her voice for tonight, so you gotta go to PPAC.